Good morning, gamers. Welcome back for the second half of the Livonian Order run, where last time we did the first half of the Livonian mission tree, turned our subject Riga into Super Riga, and ended up getting ourselves a border with the Ottomans. If you want to see all of that, then in the top right is a link to the first half, but if you're just here to find out exactly why the Livonian Order is extremely broken, then you've come to the right place. Now, the first order of business is to continue clearing up a couple of the states here, turning them into full states, and I'm also very clearly going to need some more admin, so we're going to swap out this guy for a half-cost level 2 stability, and we're also going to upgrade this guy. Yikes, alright, that new heir is pretty bad, and we can't disinherit him either. So, congratulations, you will now be made into a general, and hopefully he ends up in a few accidents. Now, the army's been fixed up, and we have a little bit more money. Once we have more manpower, I'm thinking of expanding the artillery to have 8. Even though artillery isn't fantastic yet, we also don't quite have the force limit to make a second army. And of course the Ottomans just had to go ahead and rival me, thank you very much. Fortunately, Austria actually has more men than the Ottomans, surprising, right? So for now, we're probably okay. I also have a lot of excess military power, so we get two options. Am I going to spam it into generals, or am I going to put that down as development? Well, seeing as I'm going to need 40% army professionalism to finish this mission, probably a good idea to start working on that. Alright, here we go. Beautiful. And if I can get a level 3 mil advisor, then we can finish that mission. Ironically, I actually don't have one. Okay, we're gonna get this guy, and we'll just have to upgrade him. Alright, militarize the knights. Let's see what this gives us. We've managed to improve the organization and administration behind the knights, and as such, our troops are already a proper army instead of just a group of Crusader knights. Okay, that is 25 years of army tradition from battles, minus 75% regiment drill loss, and 100 government reform progress. Honestly, I expected something permanent, but okay. I guess we'll get our nightly militarization. Alright, we've completed another mission over here, giving us, whoa, that's a lot of manpower. That should get us ready for the war with Muscovy again. Plus, I should probably integrate the Teutons at this point. First, let's sell titles, and then let's do it. Now, I know what I said about not affording a second army, but I'm not really gonna beat Muscovy without one. I'll take out loans if I have to. Really? You need my help with this? Pomerania, Poland, Dithmarschen. What, like a total of 24,000 men? Now, I am a little curious to know, could I maybe take like a few provinces, please? After all, these two are part of Ruthenia. Okay, that's 100%. Can I please get a peace deal? Nope, because they surrendered to someone else. Ah, that's cool. That is great. Please, Austria, please. If I could beg for anything, it's these provinces. Please, Austria, please. Oh, thank you so much. I love you, Austria. You're so cool. You know what? You are the best Holy Roman Emperor. I mean, you kept the alliance with Denmark, so you're not that cool, but I approve still. Now, onto the big man himself. Muscovy has 49,000 men. We have 58, and we should have no more truce. Perfect. We can get Sweden in here as well. We kind of already know what Sweden's going to do though. So first we're going to take Neva, and then maybe we'll call them in if we still need them. You know what? Screw it. Let's just let them in anyway. We don't really want to get bogged down sieging Russia, not with all this attrition, so we're gonna go straight for the capital, and we have really good siege ability, so it shouldn't be that bad. It just occurred to me actually that I still have the manpower edict on, which is why we have so much manpower. Preferably though, I don't have any of the edicts on, and I have just as much manpower. So to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and dev a couple of the grain and livestock provinces, and eventually we'll be able to slap down some soldiers' households. Now, for idea group number 3, I'm thinking I'm probably going to go with diplomatic so I can take more provinces in each war, or I could take admin for the core cost reduction. You know what? Yeah, let's go with Diplo. Now, Muscovy has done me the favor of splitting up all their stacks, making it very easily to dwindle their numbers, and we've also taken Moscow, so, you know, easy. Although, I probably should take the war goal, and a clean wipe. Now for the rest of you. Okay, that should be GG. I'll take all these provinces over here. A total of 12 provinces in Russia that we have to convert over to Catholic, as well as Moscow, Neva, and Novgorod, which are required to finish this mission. But before I peace out, there is just one thing I want to do. Now, this isn't a very good idea, mind you, but let's see if I can just maybe try and get at least a small army to land in Gotland. You'll see why in a second. Oh, okay, never mind, we're fine. Okay, we're gonna keep keep the alliance between Muscovy and Gotland, but I want this to be a 5-year truce. Now, the truce with Gotland, because it ends in 5 years, it means that we can declare on them and then call in Muscovy when they're feeling a little bit better. And then I can get a white peace with Muscovy, get a white peace with Gotland, and then attack Muscovy in 5 years after that. So what this means practically is we're gonna have a 10-year truce with Muscovy, instead of a 15-year one. Now, we are slightly over the governing capacity, so let's go ahead and take some land back, and then we can give the burghers, woo, maybe not. Okay, maybe we can give the clergy some land rights. You know, I'm thinking I'm probably going to reduce this away from mercantile tithe, and instead of subservient bureaucrats. Okay, now I can give the burghers some land rights, which we're probably going to need considering all of the coring I'm about to do. Okay, let's get to stating a few things. Of course, let's drop that autonomy, and the conversions seem pretty quick. Give it maybe, I don't know, 3.5 years and we should be able to complete this mission right here. Oh man, alright, yep, this guy's alive. Okay, let's see if a local noble is any better than this Hunyadi. And he is, thank god. Okay, that's the truce with Gotland, you know what that means. That's right, it's time for us to face Muscovy again. In my infinite wisdom, though, I actually forgot to get a CB on Gotland, which I was supposed to be doing the entire time, so, I guess we're gonna have to wait a little while. You see, this is the real reason you take espionage, for when you mess up and you have to try and quickly solve things. Anyways, now that Moscow has been converted, we've finally ended the Third Rome. So we can choose, now that we've pushed further as a Crusader state, are we still truly a little order or are we more of a kingdom now? So instead of getting a measly little minus 20% fort maintenance, instead we're going to get 2.5% discipline, 25% army tradition from battles, and 1% missionary strength. This is only the beginning. Next, we have to heal the Schism, and then we're going to have 10 provinces with soldiers' households. And then you'll see exactly how strong we can become. In any case, let's start off this war with Gotland. Of course, we can also call in, of course, taking the capital means we get an easy, immediate white peace. And now, although it's not exactly what I wanted, we have a new truce in September of 1543. 4 years earlier is better than nothing. I just realized I'm a bit dumb. Yeah, so basically, I could just ask the Pope to break their alliance with Hungary. I can also ask Sweden to break their alliance with Hungary and then just attack Hungary. It's really not that hard. Yeah, let's just do that. Thank you, Sweden. Wait, I can only ask an ally once every 10 years? Why? I have the favors. Shouldn't I be allowed to do this? Man, these artificial limitations. Okay, yeah, whatever. I guess we're fighting the Pope then. Better the Pope than Sweden. Oh my god, look at that. 22,000 men from Riga. Oh, I love Riga so much. I told you they are stronger than the Teutons. I could become the defender of the faith while I'm currently burning down Rome. Ah, that would be good. Well, I do have a mission for that, don't I? If I'm the defender of the faith for 25 years, then being the defender gives me a couple of bonuses. Anyways, time for our first age ability in the Age of Reformation. Obviously, this is going to be the most important one, as we continue to push further into Muscovy. And if I can, then picking up this is going to be huge for taking the provinces we need. Sorry, Pope. Wish it didn't have to be this way. Now, while we're at war here, I'm just gonna quickly press this button. I couldn't do that while we were at war with the Pope, but now that we're not, we should get a little bit more extra manpower. Now, as for Hungary, I'm thinking at least this state, and if I can, then more, obviously. In fact, I think we'll just go with this. Full money, war reps, these provinces. It's not too much to core, it's not very much aggressive expansion, and most importantly, it's also not too much diplo. Ah, finally. We got rid of that old guy. It seems the local nobles are fairly lucky, so let's try this again. Okay, I take it back. Right, hello there. You, heir, are an heiress, which means we can't actually put you into battle. That kinda sucks. How did we pick you if you're a sinner? How did that happen? You're gonna be a sinner and you're gonna lead the largest Crusader state on the planet? Okay, alright then. Also, this is just a bit of an aside. Locking missions behind requiring certain tech for certain buildings. A little bit cringe in my opinion, that's all I have to say. I don't remember when soldiers' households unlock. Admin tech 15. Oh boy, okay. Yeah, so we're probably going to finish all of the other requirements before unlocking soldiers' households. That kinda sucks. Anyway, it's a good thing we have a lot more left to do. And there go the Teutons. Now look at us. Looking pretty thick. It may have taken us 100 years to accomplish what Lithuania can do in like 30. but, you know, starting as the Livonian Order, not bad. Plus, all of these states are free. Speaking of free, it's time for us to go back to war with Muscovy, because, you know, it's free land. We're gonna go for more provinces in Russia, because that's what we require to finish this mission over here. So let's see, that's all this stuff up here. Okay, that should be relatively easy. Plus, if I could take the entire thing, then that would be ideal, because we have to do that for yet another mission, but that's going to require attacking Crimea, who is a tributary of the Ottomans. Yeah. Now let's make sure not to forget this time. We actually need to get Gotland out of this war as soon as possible. Oh, come on. Really, Austria, while I'm at war? You want me to fight Bohemia, the current emperor, in the middle of my crusade? The nerve of some people. Anyway, let's get Gotland out. Now, we've taken Tech 12, which means, you know, this war shouldn't be so bad. In fact, for the Muscovy war, I almost feel a little bad. They're still on Tech 9. Our guys have guns, their guys do not have guns. Can't imagine what it would have been like on the battlefield for the first time. You're walking up with your square pike formation, and then these guys with interesting-looking sticks walk up on the hill. You're thinking, oh, this should be easy. Look at these guys. They don't even have blades on their sticks. And then they start aiming. Okay, we should be done with Muscovy now, or at least close to it. Alright, I'm thinking all this stuff up here, not for any particular reason, but because it makes my name big, which means I'm winning. Also, it blocks off Sweden from taking land, so there's also that. Ah, beautiful. Wait a second, what? I have a Holy War CB on the Ottomans? I don't have religious. What? It's not this, that's for sure. Okay, yep, a little bit confused. However, I might use it. I mean, look at these guys. It's just the Ottomans. If I call in Austria, then, well, we at least have more men numerically. Whether we'll win or not is a little bit less promising. Let's at least wait for this war to be done. Now, Ottomans. We have more morale, more discipline, more siege ability, more tradition and professionalism. The real thing to look at, though, is that the Ottomans gain 2.6 thousand manpower every month, and we gain less than 1,000. Austria gains 750. Ooh, the Ottomans are considering attacking the Timurids. This is really important because the Timurids are actually a great power as well. 91,000 men against the Ottomans' 200,000. Now, theoretically, if we and Austria decided to attack them at the same time, we could put the Ottomans in a bit of a tough spot. In other words, that's the plan. Okay, Ottomans. I know the Timurids aren't going to last very long, but while they do last, we need to at least try. Now, Austria, I think we can do this. Either we take down the Ottomans now, or we just let them grow stronger and stronger, being completely unchecked. So here goes a bit of a gamble. Oh, look at that, we also got a crusade. You know what, that might actually be enough to let us win. And of course, we siege like an absolute mad lad. So before the Ottomans get back, we just need to siege really quickly. Bonus points if we can take Constantinople. Because, you know, theoretically, if we can take these two provinces and have two armies stand here, then anytime they try to cross is gonna be a -2 penalty. -3 for this province. Come on, boys, I believe in you. Oh, come on. We're so close. Beautiful. And we burned it to the ground. Okay, I can't really pay for this, so, let's go ahead and maybe remove a little bit of tax. Of course, I'm gonna scorch that. 1, because it makes it easier to block, and 2, because, you know, screw those guys. Looks like the Ottomans are rushing to clean up in the Timurids so they can come back, but I don't think they'll be fast enough. So what should I take from them? Well, this would be the obvious peace deal. Don't suppose Byzantium's still around, are they? Well, yeah, okay, I could work with that. So the Ottomans have given up all of the Balkans to us. Hopefully this means that their manpower per month has, yep, definitely started to crumble. And here they are, okay. I guess that was bound to happen soon. Not quite a stag wipe, but not bad. Printing press time. Spawn all the way over there. We, of course, as Catholic, are not going to be able to spread that very easily. More than likely, we're going to have to spawn it in ourselves. But that's alright. Now, for the Ottoman allies, this guy has no more army and we're standing on the capital, which means he's ready to leave. Let's get to work on Anatolia then. Honestly, I am pretty surprised that this worked at all. I didn't think the Ottomans would commit this hard to the Timurids since, you know, I'm the player, but I guess you can get surprised by anything. Now that the Ottomans have finished their war though, we might actually have to fight them. They make less money than Austria though. I don't know if they can keep on fielding an army this large. Who am I kidding? They're the Ottomans. It's probably not an issue. 1 loan though. Hey, there you go. Alright, looks like we're gonna have to actually fight now. At least it looks like they're trying to attack me. Let's take up those defensive positions. Yeah, we're not quite fast enough to stop them there. I could peace out if I need to, but I think making them bleed is a little bit more useful. That's the second loan they've taken out, and in fact, I would almost encourage them to try to step on this fort. Are you going to? Well, someone's locked in. Okay, let's get that scorch. Let's see what we can do. Oh boy, that's a lot of artillery. Yikes. At least the rolls are ruler on our side. There we go. Let's see if we can do the same to this stack. No general, easy pickings. Sheesh. Yeah, they're not having a very good time. The Ottomans have a lot of revolts right now, but I think letting them go would still be too merciful. We can wait a little while longer. Looks like they're losing around 100 ducats a month, and I like to see that. In fact, it might even be better to not fight them. Just let them lose money. We can leave when Constantinople's about to be taken, or if they surrender. Okay, fine. I will allow them to leave now. I'll be taking these provinces over here, as well as over 3,000 ducats, or war reps, and honestly, that's enough for me. Beautiful. Now, let's go ahead and release some subjects, namely Byzantium and Bulgaria. There's nothing I love to see more than the Ottomans take out debt. Now, all that sidetracking has put me into a bit of a weird spot. We still have to invade Gotland to reduce the truce with Muscovy, but at this point, we're not going to get much out of it. In fact, I probably won't have enough admin power to core all the stuff I would take, so instead, we're not going to do that. Alright, that also means that I could take the Defender of the Faith, since apparently we can just beat the Ottomans and it's not a problem. First, let's check every war, make sure I'm not going to get involved in anything stupid. Looks like Crimea is actually invading Genoa. Yep, that would be one of the examples. Now, I could, apparently, also fight the Ottomans again. I don't want to, I kind of just want to invade Crimea separately. So in that case, I might actually take up that opportunity. Oh, speaking of calling me in, thank you very much, Austria. I don't want Genoa to think that they can't call me in, so I'm going to become Defender of the Faith first. Go on, Genoa. I'm ready. Okay, let's accept this first then. Which apparently breaks a truce. Thank you, Austria, for that. That's cool. So either I lose a stability or I lose Austria as an ally. That's cool. I love having to make that choice. Any second now, Genoa. Unless they can only call me in at the beginning. That might be true. Anyway, we have healed the Schism, giving us tolerance to the true faith and missionary strength versus heretics for the rest of the game, plus every Orthodox country is going to have to decide if they're going to stay Orthodox or swap over to Catholic. Now, considering Muscovy doesn't like us very much, I'm going to assume, wait, what, they actually did it? Okay, never mind. Bulgaria also said yes, and so did Byzantium. It does, however, mean that we can't use our special minus 25% war score cost against Muscovy now, which kinda sucks. But that's okay, because we're pretty close to getting our minus 20 from Diplo anyway. Okay, now it seems that Austria, after having this war, doesn't feel like fighting me over Poland, which is, pretty good. Pretty solid. So all we should have to do is go over to Denmark and say, hey, would you mind maybe not attacking Pequot and for some reason disabling all of my requests? That would be cool. But anyway, I'm pretty sure the only reason I'm allied to Denmark is so that I could ask them to break their lines with Poland, and at the moment that it matters, we can't do that. So you know what? Sweden can fight Denmark for me. I don't even care anymore. Sheesh. That is quite the siege ability. We should be able to get Denmark out now. That's full money, war reps plus the alliance with France, and we're good to go. As for Poland, that'll be an easy full annexation. Surprisingly, not a lot of aggressive expansion. I can only core 2 provinces, oh my god. Plus I don't have enough governing cap either. Oh boy, alright. Oh, by the way, I definitely have enough development now, but I still can't become an empire because that's one of the limitations of the Crusader Order. The truce with Muscovy is over, finally. Here we are, back into the fray. As usual, we'll get Gotland out early. Now, as for today's piece, probably gonna go for something kind of like this. That is, however, a bit of extra overextension, plus I can't core, all of it. So I might have to release someone. Maybe Ryazan. Yeah, that's a good idea. Alright, anyway, now that leaves us with a measly 62%. Very easy to core. Oh, come on, Denmark. This is my ticket to getting the truce break with Muscovy. Of course you have to do that. Anyway, there are another 6 years until the truce with the Ottomans is complete. Or we could fight Crimea, which would bring in the Ottomans, and we could try to get the Ottomans to white peace, and then just take what we want from Crimea, which is the side that I'm leaning towards. And that's actually looking fairly easy, considering the Ottomans have 45,000 men. That's quite interesting. I wonder why that is. Oh, because of course they still have 7 loans. Well, we wouldn't want them to start repaying those, so let's wait until the war reps expire and then we'll go in. I've also decided to change things up a little bit. Instead of subservient bureaucrats, we're going to swap over to the monastic brewery, which in my opinion is one of the better ones. I just didn't want to take it because we didn't really have that much grain, but now that we have a lot of grain, it might be worth it. Besides, 10% goods produced is pretty solid. Okay, no more war reps, let's get started. For some reason, it seems like the Ottomans keep on building men and then deleting those men once they realize they can't pay for them. Maybe it's not what's intended, but it works out for me. This war with the Ottomans is going to be kind of boring, not much to see here. The Ottomans are of course going to keep on taking out more money so they can hire more men and then just not fight with them, I guess. There's a pretty decent chance I might have actually broken the Ottoman AI. Oh yeah, this guy wasn't moving for a bit, but I guess he's moving now. Anyway, Ottomans don't really want to keep fighting this. That's pretty reasonable. Yeah, when they're losing this hard, it's understandable. You know what? I'll be a really nice guy. I won't even ask for anything. They'll just leave the war. Easy. Now, Crimea is a different story. I hope you guys don't mind if I just take all of that, do you? 222 Diplo, huh? That's not that bad. Okay, so basically, we're gonna give a couple things away to my subject. Now, the overextension is just 90%. I can't really core all of this, but at least half of it. Also, by now, the amount of money that Riga gives me is very small. In comparison to how useful they are as an army, probably better just to make them a march. Oh boy, here comes the Council of Trent. Now, Counter-Reformation, I never take this. Pretty much ever. Not much of a point unless you have a lot of converting to do, and we don't. Not really, at least. But we can choose a stance on Council of Trent. Of course, the harsh stance is, in my opinion, the better one, especially for that juicy minus 10% war score cost against other religions for the rest of the game, as well as the extra manpower. Now, the truce with the Ottomans did finish, sitting on tech 14 while I'm sitting on tech 13, but that shouldn't make much of a difference. They are, of course, still in debt. So as soon as we're done this war, I guess that'll be something to do. Okay, let's embrace. I'll take this, and let's get ready for war. And we should probably wait for Austria to get back home. In the meantime, we can deal with these rebels, and now we're ready. We'll go for conquest, of course, for all of my subjects' lands. Oh boy, that is, yeah, that's a lot of Ottomans right there. Are you insane? 182,000 men? How can you afford that? Where did the money come from? What? Okay, time to fix that. Ooh, yeah, it's not looking so good for those guys. Alright, that's it for Gazikamuk. Now let's free this army and let it cross. And now we're back in the final stage. Oh no, the heir died. How unfortunate. What a tragedy. Whatever shall we do? Here's the final test. Can we beat an Ottoman army which is slightly larger than ours? The answer is yes, very easily. Well, with the capital taken, that's probably GG. Finally, we finished converting Ruthenia. +1 missionary, minus 75% maintenance, and we should be pretty close with Russia as well. Now, as for this last part, I think the issue is that Sweden owns one province over here. Now, Sweden actually would ally me again, so we'll test that theory when the war is over. And seeing as the Catholic League has just started up, obviously, we're going to be picking the side of the Catholics. Now, this time, I'm not leaving the Ottomans with anything. 4 loans, 35,000 men left. I guess now that there are rebels everywhere, we should probably leave. Once I take care of this army, of course. Alright, yeah, that'll do it. War reps, money, all of the cores back. Sounds good to me. Now, let's give these provinces over to Byzantium, and let's test my theory about Sweden. Yep, that was the problem. Alright, now that means we've developed the land as well. Now, for the final idea group, we've kind of run out of claims to use. We have nothing left, so now would actually be a good time to pick up religious. Then we'll have a CV we can use against the East and the Ottomans. Oh, I can finally see the end in sight. So, for these last few years, I'm literally just going to sit here. I'll take this tech as soon as possible, and I'll get to work on building those soldiers' households. Unfortunately, that's going to take another 5 years, but through the power of editing, it'll happen just like that. Welcome back, everybody. We've built all of the soldiers' households that we require. Now all I have to do is improve this advisor a little bit to get us to the 12 monthly military points we require, and at last we can finish our last mission, an army with a monastery. Our recent military reforms have improved our capabilities quite a lot, but there is still room for improvement. By completely embracing the militarization of our order, we could have an army comparable to any other major country. We would turn from some monasteries with an army to an army with monasteries. Now, once we embrace this, we become a crusading empire. Crusading empire gives us a whole lot of benefits. In fact, it actually makes it so that we don't need religious ideas the way I thought we might. We get 2% missionary strength, 2 tolerance of the true faith, a permanent CV against heathens and heretics, and 33% manpower in true faith provinces. Now, the most important part of all of this is that we get access to the militarization mechanic. This is one of my favorite mechanics in the game, and usually when you have it, it's as Prussia, but Prussia has a small weakness, the fact that it has limited governing capacity. But the Livonian Order doesn't have that. So you're basically Prussia, but without the governing capacity limit. Of course, Prussia is supposed to form Germany, and then you can do whatever you want with that, but this is the best part of the entire mission tree, and for some reason I haven't seen anybody talk about it. As long as you keep your governing capacity in check and your army tradition high, you can have pretty much a permanent bonus to your discipline, manpower recovery, speed, and land maintenance. So now, with all the soldiers' households that I've built, plus militarization, we gain 2,761 manpower a month and have a maximum of 260,000. Keep in mind, I didn't take quantity ideas in this run. If I had, we'd see that number would be a lot larger. Now, of course, we do have a ridiculous modifier for our manpower in True Faith provinces, but that's just part of the fun as the Livonian Order. Once given the opportunity, you really do have one of the best militaries in the game. You're essentially getting 15% discipline, 10% infantry combat ability, and if you stack it all really well, then over 100% increased manpower. And there you have it, Livonian Order in all of its glory. For now, this is Quarbit signing off, hoping you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and as always, have a fantastic day. Big thanks to the patrons this month. All of these people get early access to videos, so if you want early access to videos, all you have to do is check down in the description and subscribe to the Patreon for at least $1, and if you're looking for something else to watch, I'd recommend these videos up on screen.